When Young Thug was arrested and charged with RICO alongside his best friend Gunna, we all imagined these two would stay loyal to each other all the way until the end. Then on December 14th, the YSL RICO case would change in a massive way, after Gunna would turn state and begin snitching on Young Thug.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Leave a like on the video if you're a fan of Young Thug. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. Now, once that footage of Gunna snitching was released for just 5 minutes, it started trending worldwide on Twitter and Instagram. This caused a massive concern for YSL kingpin Young Thug now being left all alone inside of jail to pick up the pieces. This also caused the entire YSL camp to turn against Gunna. As academics tweeted, YSL is having a beef on Instagram. Gunna came out and tried testing the water, claiming YSL the label and even said free Young Thug. But everybody in YSL is looking at Gunna like, buddy, you're the reason that he's in there. They all unfollowed him right after. Even Young Thug's sister did as well. Now this all began when Gunna tweeted, "Rest in peace Lil Keed, I love you and I miss you twin," showing love to late YSL rapper Lil Keed, who sadly passed while he was in jail, to even then posting on his Instagram a photo of his at-home studio, alongside a caption stating, "People acting like they switching to his side, but it's only one side. Hashtag YSL the label, free Young Thug and Yak." Young Thug would go on to post those two things on social media only a week after snitching on Young Thug. These Instagram posts also got a lot of backlash from YSL members, as YSL King Mondo replied to Gunna on Instagram, "I ain't gonna bite my tongue. Baby boy, you don't need to be saying nothing about YSL or free Young Thug after what you said and did. You really got some nerve." Now this even led on to January 14th. None other than Lil Baby and Lil Durk, who were previously best friends with Gunna, also reacting to him snitching, as academics shared a snippet of a new Lil Durk song. In the lyrics, Lil Durk is heard saying, "What happened to Virgil? He's probably gonna tell," referring to the collab song that he had with Gunna titled "What Happened to Virgil," and it even led into Lil Baby making a very surprising move as well, as Ak was seen tweeting, "The streets are saying Lil Baby unfollowed Gunna today. Y'all think the industry giving Gunna too much of a hard time for being a truth teller or nah?" Now Gunna would become silent on social medias once again, only having his lawyers speak out for him. This was until, however, March 20th, where we saw tweets of, and I quote, "Gunna seemingly responds to rumors about him potentially leaving YSL in a new song snippet today." As in the song lyrics, he's heard saying, "I heard the rumors saying I'm packing up and flying out. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying here, gonna fight it out." Responding to Young Thug, saying even though he snitched, he's gonna stay loyal, I believe. I'm not really sure what he means here, as he was caught snitching on the YSL kingpin in 4K footage for a Happy Meal. We even then saw academics tweet, Gunna's lawyer put out another statement, saying Gunna is not no truth teller and he will not help put King Slime behind bars. Y'all believe it? Alongside this statement attached from Gunna's official lawyer. Comment on article from Gunna's co-lead defense counsel Steve. After reading Miss Wick's outstanding, insightful article, I am obligated to say for the record one more time, Gunna has never interviewed by or cooperated with law enforcement or prosecutors in the RICO case, nor have his attorneys proffered information on his behalf. What was said at his Alford plea hearing was solely to resolve his own case. It could not be used by the prosecution against Young Thug or any other defendant. point. Now, in case you are unaware, Gunna did yes snitch on Young Thug, but it was not in the YSL Rico case. It was actually in a separate case where Young Thug and Gunna were pulled over in their vehicle, and inside of their car was a firearm as well as narcotics. So if Gunna claimed in the courtroom the firearms and narcotics are not his, this would likely then fall on Young Thug. So when Gunna's lawyer uses strategic words saying that Gunna did not snitch in the Rico case, he actually is technically telling the truth there, but he's not accounting for the other case that's on the side. But Gunna isn't the only YSL member trying to ruin Young Thug either, as YSL members have been snitching on Young Thug ever since day one of the court case.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
On day one of the Rico case, when 28 members were raided and arrested alongside Young Thug, allegedly 2 people became snitches the moment they walked into their jail cell. So it's very clear the prosecutors do not want anyone other than Young Thug. This was actually even proven when a YSL member tried setting up Young Thug in the courtroom, as it seems almost every court hearing Young Thug is involved in, people are either snitching on him, setting him up, or affecting his future. And it's unknown if prosecutors are setting up Young Thug to have this happen to him, but why would a YSL member try slipping Young Thug a narcotic in the courtroom, as shared right here? Now, when this all went down, a person inside of the courtroom released an entire thread on what happened. It states, "My colleague Mark just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug, as well as his co-defendant Khalif Adams, of conduring a hand-to-hand deal in the courtroom. Prosecutors say the surveillance shows Adams walk over to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney. He then drops narcotics in his hand. A deputy confronts Young Thug, and he turns over the item to authorities. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of narcotics wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor. According to investigators, Adams was taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crime within the courtroom. Prosecutors then filed a motion asking the court to make a finding of fact that the court was delayed on January 18th because of the actions of defendant Williams and defendant Adams. To the final tweet stating, an attorney for Young Thug responded to the allegations that his client was involved in the deal, with this audio of Young Thug's lawyer reacting to these allegations online.
The reality is, Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants, on his way to the restroom, attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly Percocet?
Did not know. Well, we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back.
It's very hard to tell whether this was planned or not, or if the prosecutors set up this man in YSL to try to set up Young Thug. Now, it's even gotten so bad in court for Young Thug that his lawyers don't even try to have him released from prison anymore. As when Gunna was released in the courtroom, Young Thug's lawyers were seen arguing for his release as well, stating he's a multi-millionaire rapper with hundreds of people employed with his business. But prosecutors were ready to deny this, as they ruined all chances of Young Thug ever being released again until he is found innocent, hopefully, during trial, as prosecutors raised concern to the judge, saying that Young Thug is committing crimes still while behind bars by having secretive tweets sent out from his Twitter account. The tweet in question states, "I'm talking with my roommate and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore, at Michael Phelps." Now, what seems like a very innocent tweet sent out by his manager turned very ugly in the courtroom, as here's his lawyer defending Young Thug.
Williams is in a jail outside of Fulton County. There are 0 cell phones in that jail.
That last tweet that was sent out to Michael Phelps is recorded. It's been investigated by the sheriff of that county, and it was a conversation that's recorded between Mr. Williams and a member of his close friendships, that he asked the other person who has control of his Twitter account. That is not a reason to...
Well, this is part of the conversation, Mr. Steele, and you and others are going to need to have with your clients, because this is part of the state's concern. I mean...
That was an innocent... That's nothing bad. Asking somebody to tweet to Michael Phelps, "Can you swim 100 miles in the ocean?" That has nothing to do with intimidation. So I'd ask you, Rico.
Well, if I can communicate through a family member or somebody else, then I can communicate something else.
Everything okay over there?
Sorry.
Yep. Okay, your family was concerned that something was going on. You're fine, right?
Yes, I'm great.
Okay, cool.
As allegedly Young Thug is using his Twitter account through jail via his manager to send out secretive tweets. Now, the secretive tweet theory all began when YSL Woody would snitch on Young Thug at the very beginning of the court case. As academics tweeted, truth teller YSL Woody popped out on Instagram last year after cooperating with the police for 3 hours in solving 50 crimes, telling on Young Thug, YFN Lucci, and others. Ironically, in his caption, he claims that he didn't cry or cooperate. If you want to stay up to date with the YSL Rico case, just make sure to subscribe.